Okay, guys. So first of all, I just want to let you know what we're doing here is tomorrow we've got a product called ScopeLeads coming out, and of course, by the time you're seeing it, it's probably out today. But I've got John here. John is my go-to web guy when everything falls apart. He's the one who puts it back together, and when I need websites that are beyond my capability, which is anything beyond a simple page, he is my go-to guy. And he wanted to take a look at this ScopeLeads because he'd been hearing about it. And so I figured I'd record the session as I showed him the product because it is a really, really exciting product. And John, you can say hi to everybody if you want.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me on, Ray.
You betcha. All right. So just a little caveat with this. The version that I have here is the basic version. I don't have any of the upsells, but I am going to talk about the upsells because as soon as this thing is released, I am going to be buying the upsells because it is well worth it. And they're not super expensive, so it makes perfect sense, and you'll see why in just a couple minutes. So what we have here in front of us is the ScopeLeads page. And I sound like I'm presenting rather than talking, so I'm going to try and just have a conversation instead of putting on my presenter voice here. So what we've got, this is the main page here, the dashboard. Now, this is a new account, so we're not going to see, as you can tell, there's not a lot of information in here yet to show. But what you've got on the side here is you got your dashboard, your campaigns, your templates, your sequences, your profile, and your tutorials. And as far as the tutorials go, I'm going to pop that open here just because they've got a lot of tutorials in here. So everything that you want to be able to do is in here. You're going to be these nice videos, and you'll be able to learn how to use everything. Now, I'll be completely honest. I have not watched. I think I've watched the first tutorial video, and honestly, it's not even really that needed unless you run into something that that requires it. So what we're going to do here is when you come into the program, if you're not familiar with it, what it essentially does is it helps you to find very specific businesses that need very specific things. So in other words, if you've ever used something like Hot Lead Finder, what it does is it pulls up all of the people in the area. So you might put in dentist in Lake Elsinore, which is my town, and it'll pull up all the dentists with their phone numbers, and then you can start contacting them. Well, this takes a different approach. And what I mean by that is, as you can see here, I've already pulled up one campaign here. But to create a campaign, all we have to do is you hit new campaign. And actually, let me go back there because I actually don't want to create a new campaign. I want to create a new thing in our campaign here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a new search. We've already created a campaign. But you can create a campaign, just give it a name and a description. So this might be electricians in Southern California or lawyers in Southern California. What we have here is we've got dentists in Southern California. So to start a new campaign or a new search, we're going to hit the new search button. And what you're going to do is you're going to choose what type of client you're looking for. Are they lacking in social media? Are they lacking with their SEO? Do they not have schema markup on their websites? Are they lacking in AdWords? Website is the website lacking? Are they not mobile friendly, and do they not have video? And so that's what you're going to be searching for here, as opposed to just a name and a phone number. So if we do social media and we hit lacking, so now we can put in our keywords. So in this case, I'm going to put dentists, and I'm going to put Lake Elsinore. And you can see the city will actually pull up here. So you hit that. We're going to hit next. And now in here, you've got a description. You can put in a description here. You can have the results emailed to you as well. We don't need to do that for this. And then down here, you've got two buttons called Standard and Auto. Now, this is very important because right now I don't have any email templates in here yet. So we definitely don't want to have it on auto. We want to have it on standard. And the difference is when you use standard, it's going to pull up all the information on these guys, but it's not going to send them any messages. If you put this on auto, what's going to happen is you put in some email templates in here and email sequences in here. And when you do your search, it'll automatically send them emails. So obviously we don't want to do that now because we don't have the emails in there. But if you had your sequences in here, so your first email, which talks to them about why they need to work on social media and shows them their issues with social media. The second one might remind them that they need help with social media, etc. And
so can I interrupt you real
no,
quick,
yeah,
Ray?
yeah, jump right in.
So a nerd question that would pop up would be, well, how are the emails sent? Are they sent through my Gmail account?
They're sent. They can be sent through either your Gmail account or through their hosting directly. So either one can be used for that.
Okay, cool deal. So I can tie it into my own SMTP, or I can just let their email script send it out for me.
I believe it's their SMTP that sends it out, but they said today something about how you can use it with your own Google Gmail account. Now I honestly haven't gotten that far into it as far as the technical aspects of it. But yeah, by default it'll send it out automatically through their servers. But you can set up Gmail somehow, and I haven't even gotten that far into it yet. So,
and I would assume, just based off of there being upsells, that it may be one of the upsells allows for advanced functionality there.
What the upsells do is they give you pre-built templates. Which
beautiful.
That's why I'm immediately buying the upsells, because I don't want to write all that stuff. So all of your templates you just put in there and you're ready to go. So it's very cool stuff. And
keep on trucking. This is good.
And those emails that they do, they're already tested. They've got 1,000 people that have been using this for months now. So they've got these emails down to a science. So again, we can give a name for this one here. So I'm just going to call this, we'll just call it social media dentist, just for lack of a better term. And we're going to leave it on standard, and we're going to hit finish. And so you can see it's going to start going through the process here. And it'll take just a couple minutes. Now you'll notice here I did one for mobile lacking, and I want to show you that in a couple moments, because actually we can take a look at that while we're waiting. Because you can see here, hopefully I didn't mess it up by doing that. We'll find out in a second. I might have canceled it, we'll see. But what this does here is when you do the social media, it pulls up, or excuse me, when you do the mobile, it pulls up all the businesses, and then it shows you their page in this little mobile app here. And so what you do is you look at the different businesses and you go, okay, this one has a mobile site. It's not a very good one, but this one is mobile friendly, so they're not necessarily a prospect. So we hit no. This one here is mobile friendly, so no. This one here, aha, look at this. It doesn't have anything for that. So technically they're a potential client, so we hit yes. This one, we can say no. This one here, this one's not even a dentist. They make dental implants and things for Halloween. So we can say no to that one because that's mobile friendly. This one is also mobile friendly. So a lot of these guys are mobile friendly. This guy is not, so he's a potential, so we'll hit yes. Okay. This one here is mobile friendly, so we can hit no. This one is not, so we can hit yes. Again, we can hit yes, yes. So this is how you weed down your prospects of who you can send your mobile, hey, dude, your site is not mobile friendly to. This one here clearly is a mess. So we're going to hit yes on that one there. And this one here is mobile friendly, so we're going to hit no. This one is not. We're going to hit yes. And so now, once we get through all of these, this one's not. This one is not mobile friendly. This one is. This one is, but it's ugly. Okay, and so now we've been through it. So now, all of the prospects that had good mobile sites, they're gone. And you've got just in here the ones that did not. Now you can see it pulled up their name, their address, their phone number, their email, their website. You can run an audit on the website, and it still shows you the social media. Even though this one was focused on your whether they were mobile friendly or not, it still gives you that information on social media. And then you have the ability to send them an email here. But of course, if you've got this set up with your emails already in here, you can actually hit email all or email selected, and it'll automatically send out your sequences to the business, talking to them about mobile, showing them this image. So it'll literally show them that their website is not mobile friendly. So the email shows them the bad website, tells them what they need to do. Now you notice here, this one has a drop down, because you can see they had a default email in here of xyz@xyz.com, and then the real email. So if there's more than one email, you can choose which one to send it to. And if it was set to auto, it would automatically send it all out to everybody. And they would get, these four guys here would get the email about their mobile website, and it would show them. And then they would get the follow-up emails that you've got in your sequence as well. So let's go back and see if I accidentally canceled that other one. We didn't. Good. So now we've got our social lacking one here. And this one's a little simpler. because I ran one earlier. So this one just shows you, the idea here is that it just shows you what we already saw in the other ones. But obviously, these are the guys, they all need help because, almost none of them have everything. So they all need some sort of social media help. So again, now you can automatically send them your social media down sequence. So they're going to automatically get your whole entire sequence about why they need to work on social media. And so it's very, very cool as far as that goes. And so we come back to campaigns. Well, now, let's zoom out of there. So now, zoom out even further. There we go. So now we can do another search here. And this time we could do video. So do they have a video on here? So again, we can put in dentists, Lake Elsinore. And the cool thing is, obviously most of the other tools might show you some of this information, but the fact that you can have all of this automated, I was flipping out when I saw this because I thought that was so cool. So, all right. So Lake Elsinore, dentists, video. Okay. So that's our name for it. Again, standard so that we're not sending them out nothing. And we're going to hit finish. And again, it's going to go through that process, and we'll see what it gives us in just a second here. But you see why this is way better than just name, address, phone number, because you can really, you can automate all of the contact with them. But not only that, but it's so detailed. You get all the information about them in here.
I think that's one of the challenges for guys like us that overthink it. You can just send it into action once you have those templates loaded.
Yep.
And let them respond to you rather than sitting there, in sweats trying to think about how you're going to cold call it or what are you going to write.
Yeah, and think about this. You could do. How long does it take to pull this up and send them messages? You could do this all day long, and who knows? You might get more business than you could possibly handle.
Yeah, man. While you're taking your lunch break, run a query,
sure,
set up the automatic profiles, and fire out the sequence of emails. And you may close a client by the end of the day.
Yep. Okay, so here we are. Again, it pulls up all of these guys and it lets you know. So like these guys, okay, this address is likely to bounce. So they know that, so you can fix that. Again, they got the multiple things there.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and the other part of this that I want to show you here, because once you have all this information, you can run this audit on them. And this is what we were talking about the other day before we even saw this product. I believe it was you and I that were talking about doing the website audits. And so this has that in here as well. So you can pull up a website audit for these guys and it'll be fully branded. So now obviously I haven't set up branding on here, so I'm not sure if it'll just say ScopeLeads or what, but you can set up branding so that it pulls up to your stuff here. And we'll see it, give it just a second here. But it gives you all the information, how fast the site loads. Here we go. So you can see here, H1 titles, none. Images without alt tags. You have 9 images on the page. Okay, meta title is okay. Meta description's okay. Speed test, actually, they did pretty good. 63 is better than most would get. Suggestions for the website. Mobile page speed test, 49. That's not that good. A mobile page usability, 57. So this is obviously one of the ones that was probably not mobile friendly. Suggestions for mobile. They got a lot of them there. Social counter. So you can see it pulls up. They've got 4 Facebook likes, none and none. As far as social media on their site, they don't have Google+, they don't have Twitter, but they do have Yelp, and they have Yellow Pages. That's Yelp, right? I think that's Yelp.
Yeah, that's the Yelp flower.
And then down here, robots.txt is found. Sitemap is not found. Organic keywords, 39. So it gives you all this information, and this is something that you could send to them. And when I talked to Lior earlier, he said his recommendation was, don't send them this off the bat. Contact them first, then send them something like this so they can look at it afterwards, once they've contacted you back or in your third email or your second email, and then you can send them this kind of stuff, because it's it's a lot of good information. And again, this one's not branded, but you can have it branded up here as well so that it shows your business, and it just gives a lot of information. So that's kind of the basics of this. And I want to show you the email area. Again, I don't have templates set up, But in here, this is where you can set up your templates. Okay. And they actually have a lot of what's the word I'm looking for?
The merge fields.
Well, it's got the merge fields, but for instance, you put in the little code for mobile site, and it'll pull in the mobile site information.
Yeah, that's probably like mail merge type field over on your right there.
Okay, it could be that. I'm not. Yeah, so business name. Yeah, so all of that stuff can be pulled in here. So mobile screenshot,
Cool deal.
social lacking. So as you set up these things, it could be if this was for the social media, or excuse me, the mobile website one, you'd set up an email that said, "Hey, I was looking at your site, and it was not mobile friendly." Now, obviously, you want to write much better than I'm writing right now. And then you can put in the, as they say, the merge field here. So in this case, we would put in the mobile screenshot. Okay, so it just drops it in there. And then you can just continue on your merry way. As you can see, blah, blah, blah. And then you can talk about why, Mobilegeddon and why you need to have a mobile site and everything else. Give it a title, give it a subject. And then it actually will check for spam as well. So you can click the spam, it'll give you a score here. Mine says 0, so that's good. So it's got a good, obviously I haven't put anything in there yet. That's why it's not. But, you start putting in a big email, it might say, hey, get rid of this word or that word because it's a little too spammy, etc. And then you can set up sequences of your emails as well. And this is where it gets cool because now you've got email number 1 and you can add an email, okay? Condition, the prospect did not open the previous email. Prospect opened the previous email. Prospect opens the previous email but didn't click on a link. Prospect opens the previous email and clicks on a link. So you can have this kind of tree of emails.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a huge value because you're paying other services for that like by the month. And
absolutely.
I mean,
and
that's awesome.
And like I said, that's why, as soon as this comes out, I'm buying the upsell because I want to have all that stuff in here done by the people who've done it before and not have to, deal with writing all this stuff myself. So that's a big thing for me on the upsells. But so that's the basics of ScopeLeads. I mean, it's I've used a lot of products that pull up leads, but this is just beyond. I mean, I'm really excited about what they have in here. So you can see it pulls it all up here. And of course, it'll track all this stuff. So emails sent, emails opened, links clicked, and you can kind of track all of that right from the dashboard here. Plus they have the help in the corner and the tutorials. And of course your profile. So you can go in here and you can set up all your profile stuff, your logo. So if I want to bring up my logo, which I haven't put in here yet.
Yeah, there's additional mail settings with our Google link. So that's cool.
Yeah, and again, that's probably, I'll have to watch the tutorials because that's going to be above my head, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So I'll have to check that out and learn all about that. But so we can pull up our logo here. Maybe not. Apparently my tags are not going to do that for whatever reason. So pull up one of my logos here. Well, that's a tiny one. Wherever my logo is, I will pull it up. Somewhere in here. 150, that's still tiny. Anyway, we'll just use this one for now anyway. So you just pull up your logo, boom, submit it, and now your logo's in there. So it's that easy. And yeah, so login mail, password, retype your password. So, and you can see my login email is right. Oh, this is actually the email to log into the program. That's what that is there. But up here, campaign email. Okay, so you can change that. Email is for both from and reply to. Notification emails, additional mail settings in here, company name, phone number. So all of that can be put right into the branded reports and everything. So, I mean, this is, I'm ridiculously impressed by the stuff this thing does. Like I said, the schema thing, and I know that's above most people's heads. If you don't know what that is, that's the stuff you put into your website so that it shows up on Google with the little image and all that. And of course, you can do SEO. So we do dentist, or just dentist, Lake Elsinore. Once again, pull that up here. Again, standard. And so now finish that. Boom. It's going to pull up all of our people that are lacking in the SEO department. And if we have our automated stuff, it'll automatically send them stuff. I mean, it's that cool, that easy. So anyway, I mean, there's not much else to show there. I mean, it is what it is, and it's awesome. So any questions, John?
No, I mean, you did a good job of hitting them all. The ones that I asked along the way were the ones, and you jumped in your profile to see, because my last question was, what email is going to show when they're sent. But when you looked at your profile, it laid all that out. So yep. I'm pretty excited to get my hands on it too.
No, I mean, it's cool. And for those of you who don't know, like I said, John is my go-to web guy, but he does a lot of local stuff and works with a lot of local businesses with websites and creation of websites and all that fun stuff. So this is right up his alley. And you can see, obviously there's 27 of these dentists in the area, and you can see they're all lacking in SEO somewhere along the lines because it pulled all of them up again. So you can pull that.
That means you're leaving some money on the table, Ray.
That's right. I'm leaving money on the table. So look at that.
I love the nice, clean layout too. I mean,
yeah, it's a very nice program. It's very easy. I mean, for everything that it does, you're not overwhelmed by buttons and things like that. It's very simple and easy to understand. Like I said, I have not watched the tutorial videos, and I was able to figure it out. So if I can figure it out, anybody can. So there you go. So that's it. So guys, thanks for watching our little behind the scenes little training session here, and I guess we'll talk to you in the next video that we do. So other than that, you guys have a wonderful day, and we'll talk. And if you have any questions, of course, please feel free to ask. I'll be glad to answer them for you. So with that, we'll talk to you soon, guys.